Do you know what Francine was like after she left Stan? Francine used to be a very sexy woman before she got married. She became conservative only after marrying Stan. However, Stan still knew that there was wildness in Francine's heart, and she could return to her old self at any time as long as there was an opportunity. Because Stan had a mission for this week's carnival night, he handed over the task of accompanying Francine to Jeff. In order for Jeff to be able to control Francine, Stan took out a card filled with points for attention. After getting the card, Jeff finally felt confident. Stan also didn't forget to remind Jeff that he must never let Francine see the card. In the evening, Francine and Jeff went to a restaurant for a meal. Francine ordered a glass of white sparkling wine. Jeff was very nervous and he needed to know if this thing was on the card. The waiter brought the sparkling wine and at the same time recommended the guacamole here. Jeff began to try hard to remember and finally found that Francine couldn't eat guacamole. Francine didn't listen to Jeff. In the end, Jeff had to find an excuse saying that there wasn't enough time. After the two of them finished their meal, when the waiter came to settle the bill, Jeff made a fatal mistake. He took the note card as a credit card. Francine still discovered the existence of the note card. Jeff had to tell the truth. Everything was because Stan wanted to prevent Francine from losing control. Jeff's words completely awakened Francine's desires. She was no longer reserved. Francine rushed out of the restaurant and then jumped onto a truck that was speeding by. In order to stop Francine, Jeff used a cart to catch up with her. At this time, Francine came to the back of the truck. After shaking off Jeff, Francine went to a bar. Tonight was destined to be a sleepless night. While Francine was going crazy, Jeff finally also arrived at the bar. Since Francine kicked over many people's wine glasses, she and Jeff were thrown out of the bar. Jeff really wanted to go home, but Francine didn't agree. She hoped that Jeff would enjoy life just like herself. Jeff also joined Francine. After 2 hours of madness, Francine came up with another fun idea. They decided to rob someone. What Jeff didn't expect was that Francine actually knew the other person. He was the drug lord in this area. He invited the two of them to his villa. In the villa were the biggest gang in the town. When the three of them walked into the room, Jeff and Francine quickly realized that something was wrong. The gang leader had a lot of rules. In order to escape, Francine said that she wanted to go to the bathroom with Jeff. Francine really wanted to leave. Maybe they should go home. What she didn't expect was that Jeff actually fell in love with this feeling and he decided to keep playing. At this moment, the gang leader was already ready. He picked up the gun and pulled the trigger. The next second, he immediately fell down and died on the spot. Francine still wanted to call the police, but there were their fingerprints on the gun. To escape successfully, they had to find a professional to solve the trouble. Roger came to the villa. As a professional, he immediately set about getting rid of the body. Roger's arrival made things even more out of control. Now he needed to look up a solution on the internet, but he accidentally called the police. The drug lord chose to run away. Only Jeff and Francine were left at the scene. The sound of the police sirens was getting closer and closer, but the two of them didn't know where to run. Francine finally realized her mistake, but at this time Jeff came up with an idea.